Hello, and my goodness, I'm on the wrong camera. So let's get up there. There we are. Here I am. Hi, everybody. Everybody, this is Virginia Milner with the DeKalb County Library System, and we have another tutorial for you. This time, we are making a bangle bracelet. I call it a bangle bracelet because it does open and close, but it's going to be more bangle size. So I had seen something a while back where they did a beaded bangle with wrapped beads and an undrilled center, but I wanted to go ahead and do it with a regular drilled piece. So we're going to be I'm using a couple of different beads, and they're just these, they're glass. Just some glass beads with some pretty patterning on them. And I'm using 2 different colors of those beads. And then I have a really pretty centerpiece, and this is a semi-precious stone. That looks fuzzy, but I think that's clear. Might be that I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so we're going to be making the nice freeform wire wrapped bracelet. It's going to be all inclusive. It's going to have just the beads that I showed you and 20 gauge wire. And that is it. Beads and wire, easy. You can do this so simply. It's a really neat project that you could do with kids and with adults, and pretty much everybody can do it. So all we need is the beads. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 16 6mm beads and 1 focal bead. May not need all of that, but it's going to depend on your own wrist. Then we also have 20 gauge wire and our usual tools, which consist of, get off of there, which consist of square nose pliers, round nose pliers, and cutters. So nothing special that you need. You can get a ruler. Where'd my face go? My mouse slid over in front of something and it dropped down in front of my face. A ruler, because I'm going to go down here to the other camera real quick. We're going to make an all-inclusive bracelet. So we're going to take 1 yard of 20 gauge wire. You may not need all of that. You more than likely won't need all of that, but it's better to have too much than too little. So that's where your ruler comes in, or measuring tape. Just measure out 1 yard of wire. And then what we're going to do is give yourself about 12 inches of wire for your bracelet form. This is going to be the base wire for your bracelet. So we'll start with that. 12 inches, just slide down 12 inches. And then we're going to take our round nose pliers and place the wire on it, like so. This is your 12 inches. This is the rest. Then we're going to take the large tail of wire. We're going to slide the wire back almost to the back of our pliers, and take the large tail of wire and wrap it around the pliers until I have a loop. So now I have a loop. This is going to be where your hook latches and closes your bracelet. So then I'm going to take my square pliers. Oops, I'm just throwing my beads all over the place. Get back here. I'll have to find the others. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of them has one in the cube. I'll find it. Anyway, take the square pliers on the face of your bead, and then again, taking the long edge of wire. I'm going to put these over here. You're just being cantankerous. Taking that long tail of wire, just wrap that around the short tail twice. So I've got one wrap and a second wrap. Let's wrap that around there twice. And now this is going to be the hook for this is going to be the loop for my hook. And if the rungs are a little far apart, just take your pliers and see what I'm doing. Bring it down just a tad. Okay. Take your pliers and squeeze those rings together so they're nice and neat. Again, this is freeform, so it doesn't have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is give myself a couple more wraps. So I'm going to take that long tail. I'm going to wrap it around here a couple more times because the wire wrapping is also a part of the design. So wrap that around a couple more times. Take my flat pliers and squeeze those rings together. Nice and close. There we go. And you can straighten this wire out if you want to. We're going to be wrapping it around beads, so there's really no point in making sure it's perfectly straight. Now here again is my short tail of wire, my 1 foot that I'm going to use as my base wire. Now, I had said one of my beads flew the coop, and I have to find it because I might just need it. Where did you go? All right, I'll just take out another one out of the little pack if I need it. Here we go. All right, let's get another one. I wanted to keep these separate so that I would not confuse it when I was alternating my colors. There. Problem solved. All right, so what I'm going to do is slide a bead on my base wire. You could put all of your beads on, but then you're going to be fighting with them to not slide off the end every time you try to wrap around it. So I like to just put them on one at a time. So I'm going to put a bead on. This is my short tail that I put the bead on. And then I'm going to take the long tail of wire and I'm going to bring it across that bead like so. And then wrap it around the short tail. And I'm going to wrap it around several times. These beads just don't want to stay put. A bead board might have been a good idea. Why did I not think of that? Let's wrap this around my wire several times. And I want the wraps to be side by side. I don't want them to overlap. So I have to be careful of that. Use my pliers to squeeze those wraps together so that they're nice and neat. And grab another bead, and I'm alternating colors. This long tail of wire is going to always flip-flap all over the place, so you just have to be prepared for that. So I'm going to grab another bead and put it on my base wire and bring my long wire, oops, yes, and then bring my, what did I do? Oh, come off of there. You know what I did? I wrapped my short tail. That is not what I wanted to do. Oh, I just love it when I make a mistake right on camera, so that if you make a mistake, you'll say, oh, well, she did it. I can fix mine too. So I just need to unwrap that short tail that I should not have wrapped, because my beads were supposed to go on the short tail, not the long tail Virginia. Okay, so straighten that out. And I want to be careful because I don't want to overwork it. All right, so short tail, long tail, grab another bead. So I put one of the lighter beads on. So I'm going to put this darker bead on now. And wrap my long tail of wire. Just bring it across the bead and then wrap it around the short tail, just like I did the first one. You know what? Really should have got a bead board to put out here. That's okay. I will find those beads if it's the last thing I did. So I'm going to wrap it around. You can count your wraps if you want to. I'm just going to wrap it around 3 times. And put another bead on. Put another one of the pink ones on. The lighter, well, they're kind of purpley pink. And the other ones are kind of a deep mauve type color. Okay, got my third bead on. Bring the wire across, the long tail of wire across, and wrap around the short tail 3 times. Okay, every once in a while I want to come down with my pliers and squeeze these rings together. And one more wrap around there. Yes. And grab one of my darker beads again. Put it on my base wire. Bring the long tail around the bead again. Now you can see where my design is coming in. Wrap that around my base wire 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now, just to save myself from the misery of these beads rolling all over the place and getting lost under my mat, I'm going to put them in this little container. Otherwise, they're just going to drive me wackadoodle. All right. And the only reason it's doing that is because I've got this long tail of wire flipping and flopping around. Okay, third wrap. Use my pliers to squeeze those rings together. Nice. Now I'm going to check, because the amount of beads that you put on is going to depend on your arm size. So here's the bottom of my arm, and I'm going to keep going around. I'm going to need some more. Grab another alternating bead. Slide it on my base wire. Bring the wire across my bead. Wrap it around my base wire. Once, twice. And 3 times. Squeeze those rings together. It's just never ending. Right in there. Grab another bead. Light it on my base wire. And wrap. One, two, and 3. Okay. Squeeze my wires together again. Nice neat rings. Starting to get a little shorter, so it's easier to manage. One of my lighter beads on. Bring the wire across the bead again. Oh, not all the way around there. Get around there. Bring the wire across the bead. And wrap. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, squeeze my rings together again, nice and tight. And here we are so far. Let's see where we are. Yep. Very nice. So far, so good. I'm going to put one more on because, again, this is going to be bangle size. It doesn't have to be fitted to my wrist like a bracelet would. Slide another bead on. Bring the wire across my bead and wrap it around the base. 1, 2, and 3. Now I am ready to put my center on because I think I'm about in the center. And this is going to require you measuring your wrist to see where it needs to end. So there's the hook right down there in the middle. And then the loop that's right down there in the middle of the bottom of my wrist. And the hook is going to come around and go through the loop. That's why I said this is all inclusive, because all it takes is one wire to make this work. So now I'm going to slide on my centerpiece. Slide that on. And this is a semi-precious stone. Sometimes they're very drilled, very small. So remember I said you don't have to unbend the wire. When you're going to put this on, you might want to make sure it's straight on the end. Otherwise, it may not want to go on. I had somebody bring a piece in to class and say, I can't get it to go on. You have to uncurve the wire just a little bit when it comes to some of these beads. So there's my center. Oh, isn't that lovely? Here's my centerpiece. And I'm going to Bring that wire across just like I did with the other bead. Ooh, look, it goes right across and makes a little X. Do I want that? Or do I want it to go the other way along with the design of the bead? I think I do. Let's try that. Yes. So this has a little line across going diagonally across. And what I'm going to do is bring my wire across right beside that little line, like a little frame. Well, one-sided frame. Neat. Okay. That's a coincidence. And then I'm going to wrap just like I did the others. 3 nice wraps side by side around my base wire. Neaten up my rings. And let's introduce another bead. Now, let me see. Do I want to keep going alternating? Let's see how that would look. I have all of my beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. One of them ran away. It's another one of these again. These keeps getting away from me. Where did you go? All right. Another one. The bag. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I ended with one of the dark beads, and I'm going to start on the other side with one of the dark beads. This is the way I'm doing it. You do not have to alternate your beads the way I'm doing it. You can do it your way. This is my design. I'm just showing you the basics, and then you can run with it. Okay, there. All right, take my little bead, put it on my wire. And wrap across the bead just like with the other one. The other ones, 3 wraps. 1, 2, and 3. And squeeze. Next bead. On you go. Wire across the bead and around the base wire. See how much easier it is when the wire's not so long? Most people introduce a second piece of wire, but I kind of developed this little idea a while ago, and I like it, except for the fact that the really long wire can be a pain in the butt. But I do like the fact that it's one piece of wire making the entire bracelet. Just one. Do I need another wrap? No. Here we go. And wrapping it around the base wire. And the really neat part of that is if for any reason you run out of wire, you can just add another piece. Easy peasy. Squeeze those rings together. One more time around. And let's bring out another bead. See how that's a little far apart? Squeeze them. Squeeze them. Squeeze them till they're nice and close together. Put on another bead here. Bring the wire across the bead. It's fun talking myself through the directions. It keeps you from having to listen to dead air. And it's one of those things that if you decide to make several of them, it's very repetitive and it gets easier and easier with each one that you make. Actually, it gets easier and easier with each bead that you put on. Okay, another dark bead. Okay, wrap it around. One wrap, two wraps, three wraps, and another bead. We're almost finished. One wrap. Two. And three. Squeeze those rings together. Nice and snug. Snuggly buggly. Another bead on there. Wire across the bead and around the base wire. See how much easier it is when the wire's shorter? Nice. Squeeze those rings. Last bead. Slide it on the wire. Ooh, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? It really is. Slide it on the wire. And bring the wire across. I'm so busy doing it, I haven't really been looking at the bracelet itself. It is very, very pretty. I've just been watching each individual component as it goes on and not seeing the whole of the bracelet. Okay, squeeze that together. Make any adjustments that I need to make because that is the last bead. Yay! And I need to just clip off what was left of my wire. I have a good, what, 5 inches left? Yeah, 5 inches. But give yourself that yard so that you have plenty. If you have to cut off 5 inches, that is enough to do something else with. Cut off that tail. Grab my pliers and push that little end down against my base wire. Nice and snug. Yeah. Then you ask, how do I fasten it? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, so what you're going to do. So here is my bracelet, and I need to make a hook to go through the loop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. And my little centerpiece. We'll shape it later. So there's where my hook is going to go, right here. So because my ring is going side to side, like so. This is obviously going to go through the ring. So my hook needs to go front to back. Yes. So what I'm going to do is bring the tail of my wire over to the side of my beads. Actually, I don't have to do that. What I'm going to do, is give myself about an inch of wire. I want an inch of wire, and I want to bend the tail of wire until I have it bent in half and side to side. And I'm going to have a tail of wire down here, but I just want the two edges of my wire to be side by side. Then I'm going to squeeze those ends together until it's nice and close. And if you need to, you can use your pliers to get as close as possible. Just squeeze them until they're as close as they can get to each other. Nice and easy, squeezy, squeezy. There we go. And now I'm going to take the tail of my wire, and I'm going to bend it out to the side about 1/8 of an inch away from the other wraps. So here are my wraps right here, and I'm going to bend this out to the side or to the back, whichever way works better for you, like so. And you can use your pliers to hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. Because what we're going to do is wrap this around the rest of the wire. So I've got that bent out to the side, and I'm going to start wrapping it around the base wire, just below my pliers. And I want to keep these nice and tight side by side while I wrap. It might be easier for me to use my hands to hold it. Get that first wrap on there. And then go back to the pliers, hold it in place, and wrap that around. Now what I'm going to do is wrap this wire over the other wraps just a couple of times. Until I get down to the bead. There we go. And now I can clip off that tail of wire. That little piece to the side and push down that little end that I have there as close as I can get in between the bead and those other wraps. Nice and snug. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is make my hook. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to slide that wire down, give myself a tiny little bit of wire down here. I want to have about 1/4 of an inch of wire, bare wire, that doesn't have the wrap on it. I'm going to bring the two ends of my wire across my pliers. So I want to make sure that the two ends of wire are flat against my round nose pliers. I'm going to bring that wire across the pliers and down towards the other beads, like so. So now I have a hook. And then I'm going to take the tail, the tip of my pliers, and just turn up that end just a little bit. Just give it a little tweak, just like that. And now I have a nice little hook to go into my loop. I'm going to bend this forward just a little bit so it's not popping up. So I'm going to bend it forward just to shape it. So it's nice and round. And then you just shape your bracelet the way you want it to lay. Now, people always say, and now bangles are round. Bracelets are oval. Bracelets are more conformed with the shape of your arm. That's why I call this one a bangle bracelet. You can shape it more like a bracelet if you want, with an oval shape, or you can leave it round like a bangle. It depends on your preference. And that, ladies and gents, is my bracelet. Bring that down just a little more. Isn't that neat? Just shape it the way I want it to look. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, that can be easier than that. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I'm wearing a fuchsia sweater. Oh, and putting it on, all you have to do is push the ends together, and that slides right in the little noose. Push that together. Boop. I have a bangle. It matches my sweater. I think I'm going to make mine a little more oval instead of round, just because I like the look of it a little bit better. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I like it a lot. It matches my sweater. I don't know how I didn't notice that before. Oh, and it matches my scarf too, the green in here and the little, oh, anyway. There it is. There it is. There it is. Isn't that pretty? I think so. Let's turn it around so you can actually see what it looks like. Yay! So easy. 1 yard of 20 gauge wire. Oh, it's upside down. Oh, you know what? I like that even better. My wrap is on the other side. My wrap is on the other side. Let me reshape it. Oh, and by the way, all of the shaping that I'm doing, that will stiffen my bracelet. The more I work with it, the stiffer it will get until at some point it's going to conform to that shape. And it will be a nice, tough little bangle, little bracelet. Now that I've turned it the other way, it hooks this way. So if that bothers you, I've had people say, oh yeah, but the hook is poking me. Now the hook is on the outside instead of the inside. So you don't have to worry about that poking you in the arm. There we go. Now I can see my little wrap. I do like that. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Okay, let's put it back on. Put it back on, put it back on. Okay. Slide that over. Come on. I need to pop that back out. Okay. Oh. There. There we go. Yes. There it is. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there's my bracelet. That's it. That's our piece. Still can't believe it actually matches my sweater, but it does. There it is. Isn't that awesome? It really matches everything I have on today. That was an accident because I really did not plan it. I put this scarf on because I was a little chilly. It's January, what can I say? And this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I will be wearing this together, these together. Oh, I love it. That's it. That's our bracelet for today. I hope you liked it. Remember, these classes, these tutorials are free to you, brought to you by the DeKalb County, Georgia Library System. We have wonderful friends of the library groups and library foundations that people contribute to, you can too, in order to keep these programs running. But they are absolutely 100% free to you. If you ever would like to contact me about a tutorial that I did in the past that you can't find now because they are out there in perpetuity someplace. They are there on the library Facebook page. They're there. Get in touch with me at jewelrygen20@gmail.com. That's JEWELRY20@gmail.com. Describe it to me. I will find it for you and I will send you the link. No problem. Okay? Free. And those of you, my phone is buzzing. It's telling me wrap it up because I had promised myself that I was going to make sure that your videos are an hour or less. Otherwise, I don't want you to have to rearrange your whole life to look at a tutorial. And I'm trying to stick with that promise. Now, I realize that the last couple of videos I did were way over an hour. But I did them back in December before I made that vow that I would try to make sure the videos were less an hour or less. So these are my first videos coming out of the box for me for January. This is the first one that I've done in January. So I am trying to stick with that. That was telling me. So again, jewelrygen20@gmail.com. Drop us a comment or a line or a like. Really love likes on the DeKalb County Library Facebook page. That's facebook.com/DeKalb Library. Facebook.com/DeKalb Library. We would love to hear from you. And if you want to find a video that you've lost touch with and can't find, just email me at that Gmail address. Describe the one that you want to find to me, what as well as you can remember, and I will research it and I will send you the link by email. Okay, no problem. Those of you who get kits, those are also free. You just go to the branches that have them. Right now, we're kind of switching things up again a little bit, so I'm not sure where they're going to be, but you can go on the library Facebook page, look up the, well, if you're looking at this video, it will tell you on there which libraries have the kits. Go on there, find out where they are, dash to the library as quickly as you can, grab a kit, go home, turn on your tutorial, and let's have some fun. That's it. If you want to contact with me and give me some feedback, I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear how you like this video, how you liked the piece that we made, whether or not you liked it, if there's something that you didn't like about it or that you would like me to change. Why am I off over here? If you'd like for me to change something, that's where my other camera is, so I have to move over. If you'd like for me to change something, or if there's something that you didn't understand, I am more than happy to answer any questions. I have people that bring their kits into the classroom when we have live classes and go, can you show me how to do this one little piece? Because I just didn't get it. I am open to that 100%. But if you can't come to a class, if you don't have access to a class, just email me. I'll be more than happy to help you if I can. I think that's it. I think that's absolutely it. So until next time, have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you later. Bye-bye.